All right, what's going on, everybody? Get the Raging Rob here. I got to do this video. I'm going to discuss a little bit about what happened tonight when I went to the Shelby Township rally. I was able to identify a couple of people that were intimidating me at the rally. I'm not going to say their names on this channel because, well, I got my reasons. First off, I'm not going to give them that pleasure. And I'm going to give you my side of the story of what happened. They're probably going to see this. They're probably going to spin it, any way they're going to spin it and, try to make me look like the bad guy. That's what they do. So just because for the simple fact that I was wearing a Make America Great Again hat, it doesn't take much to trigger these liberals. That red hat is a magical hat. It doesn't take much to trigger them. I don't know what it is about that hat. Donald Trump had absolutely nothing to do with the police chief of Shelby Township, posting what he posted on Twitter, his inflammatory tweets, non-racist, because he didn't single out any race group. He just, he basically went on Twitter. If you're not familiar with what's going on, we got a police chief here in Michigan in Shelby Township. He went on Twitter. He said some things about looters. I'm spelling it out. It wasn't racist. He didn't point out any skin color or any stereotype of people. He just said, I don't know exactly how he put it, but he put it like, put the looters in body bags or something like that, He didn't say peaceful protesters. He said looters. Did he step over the line a little bit? Yeah, I'm going to be honest. He did. So they held, well, I don't know who this person was. I'm not going to say her name, even though I know her name now. I did a little research on this person. Held a rally and protest the police chief. Basically what happened was they had a meeting the day prior. I guess it went on to 1 o'clock in the morning from my understanding, where they decided they're going to suspend the police chief for 30 days. He gets to keep his job. So I guess they had a problem with that, and there was a protest at Shelby Township City Hall on Van Dyke Avenue in Shelby Township. So I decided to go down there. If you've been following my channel for a bit, I've been to many protests. I've been to many rallies, liberal, conservative. I've been to a couple Bernie rallies. I've been to many Trump rallies. I've been to many open carry rallies. That's what I do. I like going to rallies. Liberal. I try to see it from both sides. And I don't judge, because I know there's good people that are on both sides. And there's bad people on both sides. So I try to, see it from both sides. So basically what happened was I went over to Shelby Township earlier tonight, to see what was going on. I was wearing my Make America Great Again hat. Immediately I started getting dirty looks from these guys. So I kept my distance from them. I just, stayed, kept my part, kept my distance. So the community organizer was speaking. I'm not going to say her name because she's not worthy. And she was the one that was part of this, what happened against me. She triggered it. Says something about her. So anyway, she was speaking, and I don't know, the crowd decided to move up towards the road. So I decided, okay, the crowd's going to move up towards the road. I'm going to keep my distance. So I decided to move behind the crowd onto the other side of the crowd, south of the crowd, on the south end on Van Dyke Avenue in Shelby Township. I decided to, walk behind them. I didn't want to get too close. I didn't want to intimidate anybody or anything like that, because I know how these people are. They like to start shit. I'm not saying every person that goes to these rallies is like that, but is a lot of, you got your intimidators out there that just like to start crap. And I wasn't there for that. I was there to document, to record, to find out, what was going on for my YouTube channel. That's basically why I went. I like going to rallies. Sometimes you learn things, you find out things. Well, that wasn't the case tonight. So I started moving around the crowd, behind the crowd, and there was this teenage girl. I don't know who she was. I found out later who she was. I'm not gonna say her name on social media. But this teenage girl, you probably see it on my video. She was wearing a pink shirt. She decided to start following me. So at first I was like, oh, whatever. And I knew, she kept eyeing me. So I thought, at first I didn't really, care, but I didn't think much about it at first. So I kept an eye on her just to make sure she wasn't getting too close to me. And I just kind of kept walking. And then as she started walking away from me, she started throwing me hand signs and just intimidating shit, like, flipping me off and just a bunch of shit. And I just looked back at her. I'm like, I yelled at her a couple times, hey, just stop following me, okay? Stop following me. And she just kept throwing the middle finger and all kinds of intimidating hand signs. She was getting on her knees and doing this and all just stupid shit, stupid teenage shit. So I just yelled at her, stay away from me. So I went back to the other side of the crowd. There was a camera guy, I think from Channel 7. I can't be 100% sure. The Channel 7 was down there. He took his camera. He pointed at me. I took my sunglasses off, so he can get my face. That's fine. I walked behind the crowd again. I decided that it would be better for me to go on the north end of the crowd because I would be away from, the crowd because I did have my Make America Great Again hat on and I didn't want to start anything. So I decided it would be better for me to position myself on the north end of the crowd, away from them, and away from that girl who was, I don't know what she was up to, trying to start crap. So that's what happened. I went behind the crowd. I went to the north end of the crowd, and in my video, as you see, and there was a curb there, and I just decided to stay right there and keep my distance. So this girl comes back, and now she's wearing a gray T-shirt. I don't know. She changed her shirt, whatever. It was the same girl. Now in a gray T-shirt. She comes up to me, and she approached me, kept staring at me. I just finally looked over. I'm like, can I help you with something? And she's like, no, I just want to stand here. I'm like, all right, fine. You want to stand here? Fine. And she starts, I don't know, recording me or taking pictures of me, which is fine, Make sure you get my face on camera. Okay, that's fine. But then here comes a crowd. About 9 or 10, mostly females, 8 females, a couple of males. And the community organizer found out that this little girl that was trying to intimidate me was the community or not the community organizer, rally organizer. I don't know if she works for the community or whatever. The rally organizer, I found out that it was this girl that was trying to intimidate me was her daughter. Her daughter. So my first question is, I'm pretty sure it was a daughter. I did a little research. I'm about 90% sure that this girl was her daughter. There's some kind of relation there between the two. I don't care what it is. But anyway, my first question is, why are you going to send your teenage daughter to intimidate somebody because you may have a different political opinion than the guy that's wearing the Make America Great Again hat, okay? The video speaks for itself. She approached me. The rally organizer was the one sticking the sign in my face. Did a little research on her. Found out some things. It turns out that this isn't the first time she's done this. That she is a intimidator, and this is what she likes to do. So, I'd never heard of her before tonight. I don't know who the hell she was. I don't come to Shelby Township that often. Last month, was it last month? What month is this? This is June, right? Okay, so the beginning of last month, I was at a Trump rally in Shelby Township. So I don't come to Shelby Township very often. A lot of rallies I go to is in Lansing, and been to a couple out in Grand Rapids. But I don't really hit Shelby Township that often. They don't have much going on there. But if there's, I try to go to rallies all over the state. I've been to rallies all over the country. It's something I like to do. I like to rally. It's a hobby of mine. I like meeting different people and talking to people that are different than me, and you learn a lot of things. So, but there are a few bad eggs out there that like to intimidate and start shit, and that's basically what happened tonight. I was standing on the curb, and here comes this crowd at me, just throwing signs. The one lady was throwing a sign in my face. She was the rally organizer. I'm not going to say her name. It turns out that it was her daughter. I'm pretty 90% sure that the girl in the gray T-shirt that came up to me was her daughter. I'm about 90% sure. So, I mean, you're using your kids to intimidate people. She intimidated me because I had a Make America Great Again hat on. That's all it was. This rally had nothing to do with Donald Trump. This was about a alleged racist, which I didn't see anything racist in his tweets, but this was about a police chief that was doing inflammatory tweets on Twitter. That's what this rally was about, and they wanted him fired. That's what the rally was about. But then you had people with the Black Lives Matter posters and signs, there. This had nothing to do with Black lives. Nowhere in his tweets did he see anything about blacks. He said looters, body bag, whatever. I didn't see anything racist in his tweets. I'm not defending his tweets. I'm not defending what the police chief did. Okay, his tweets were inflammatory. I wouldn't word it the way he worded it. That's not how I would, word things. But that's what he did. So I don't have an opinion if they should fire him or not. I'm not from Shelby Township. They're going to do what they're going to do, and that's that. They suspended him for 30 days. He's going to get his job back. If that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do. I really don't have an opinion on what they do on the chief. So this had nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. This had nothing to do with Donald Trump. Okay, but it was multiple people in the group. They kept mentioning, well, he's got a MAGA hat on. He's got a MAGA. Well, who gives a shit what kind of hat I got on? I could have had my NRA hat on. I could have had my my Don't Tread on Me hat on. I just happened to have my Make America Great Again hat on. So they came and intimidated me over a piece of clothing. A piece of clothing. This started this whole intimidation thing against me over a piece of clothing. Let's get that straight. Wow. The video speaks for itself. I don't know what's going to come of this. I don't know. I found out the rally organizer. I found out who she was. And I let her know who I was. So she knows. And she's probably going to see this video. And she's probably going to spin it for her own agenda. And she's probably going to get her little minion followers to, troll me on social media now. Because now she knows my face. And now she knows my name. And she's going to spin it whatever way she's going to spin it. So I advise my followers to do your own research. I'm a nice guy. I'm a real nice guy. All you got to do is come up to me in a nice way. I'm a nice guy. Don't judge everything you see on social media about me. There's a lot of crap on social media about me. Get to know me in person. That's what I tell these people. Get to know me in person. Don't judge me by Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Get to know me in person. How you approach me is how I approach you. That's the way it is. I'm a nice guy. Because later, in the same night, a couple hours later, there was a guy that came across the street. He was a protester, and he came over and talked to me, shook my hand, and I'm going to throw it out there. It was a black guy. Not to be racist, but it was. It is what it is, because they were calling me racist and whatever else. This black guy approaches me. We had a decent conversation. He didn't agree with my, hat, which is perfectly fine. And he just gave his side of the story saying, hey, I don't like the police chief, blah, 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 blah. I'm here because of this. We shook hands, and I said, hey, no hard feelings to you. And he was on his way. I'm a nice guy. It's how you approach me. But if you approach me like that, like what happened tonight, yeah, that was intimidation. So I want people to know, this rally organizer in Shelby Township, I want people to know what kind of person she is. What kind of person sends their daughter to intimidate somebody because he's got a hat on? What kind of person does that? Uses their children to intimidate somebody. That is absolutely... What kind of parent are you? This person's watching me. I know you're watching me. What the fuck kind of parent are you? You know what you are? You are a big piece of shit. That's what you are. You're willing to use your kid against me? Against a grown man. I'm 37 years old. And that's the kind of person you are. Using your kid to intimidate a grown man because he might think differently than you. You are the biggest pile of shit that I've seen in a while. Okay? And I just exposed your ass. And that's the way it is. I will not be intimidated by you. I will not be intimidated by your family. I will not be intimidated by your little minion followers. You know what? Because I go to rallies, and guess what? I'm coming back to Shelby Township. I'm coming back to Shelby Township, and I will show up at future rallies, and that's the way it is. And I will not be intimidated, and that's the way it is. So keep playing your bullshit. That's the way it is. I know you're watching. You know who you are. Bring it on. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your minion followers. You will not intimidate me. I was on public property, in public, okay, owned by the city of Shelby Township. Anyway, got a headache from this shit, so it is what it is, you know. So the best thing you can do with these idiots like that, and they say, well, we don't want to make it liberal conservative, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I know what they're doing. I know how they spin their things. I've been to a lot of these rallies. I've been going to rallies for years. I know their game. I know how they spin this shit. So it is what it is. So I just want to give my side of the story, because the mainstream media, they're not going to tell the truth. Chances are I am in the news. I don't know. I haven't seen my picture in the news yet, but there were some cameras there. So chances are I am in the news, which they're going to spin it whatever way they're going to spin it. And people need to know my side of the story, what happened. So, and I'm sure you're going to hear her side of the story. So that's perfectly fine. But I don't want any contact with this person. I don't want any contact with her daughter. I don't want any contact with her. As far as I'm, you know, if you're willing to throw your kid at me, if you're willing to use your kid to intimidate me, as far as I'm concerned, that's a dangerous person. I don't need to be around somebody like that. I don't want anywhere near her. But I am going to show up at future protests in Shelby. That's the way it is. You're not going to intimidate me. And I will not be intimidated by any liberal out there. I will not be intimidated by any troll. I will not be intimidated by anybody. I like going to rallies. I will not be intimidated by anybody. And there's a Black Lives Matter rally Friday in Lansing, and I plan on showing up. If Shelby Township has any rallies in the future, I plan on showing up. And that's the way it is. I'm out.